What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing today? So for those who don't know me, my name is Swemi, and this is my husband, Eric.
What's up?
And we are finally parents of two. That's crazy, huh? Anyway, today on this video, we will be talking about my labor and delivery and how all that went. So if you guys are at all interested, then stay tuned and keep on watching. Okay, so basically we're gonna start off on the day I had my real contractions. And if you guys watched my last video, basically you guys know I had mentioned that I was already getting like Braxton Hicks or like contractions, but not like real contractions until September 7th came.
It was in the morning.
Yeah, it's crazy because the day before I told them, I was like, I feel different. I feel like she's coming. Yeah, like I just feel like I need to get stuff done. And the day before you were also doing the crib, huh?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, it was so crazy, guys, because like he was gonna put it off for like the day of, and he finished it the day before. Yeah, it was crazy. Anyway, that morning, which was like 5. Yeah, okay, so that night I had felt like 2 contractions, but because like I had felt contractions already before, like I ignored it, you know. I kind of just thought they were like my contractions I had been feeling throughout the months or weeks. So I felt it, and then I woke up, you know, I was uncomfortable, turned around and fell back asleep, and I felt another one closer, and I'm like, oh, that was kind of close together, and they kind of hurt like more than usual. Ignored it again. Around 5:34 a.m. I felt like a strong one. And what time did you wake up?
I just remember I started, you told me that
5:40 something.
50, yeah.
5:50 or 40 something. I woke him up. I was already crying basically, and telling him I'm getting cramps. And then at 5:58 is when we started timing them. So it's like minutes apart. And he was getting ready for work. We were in here in the room, and I had sat down and we just started timing them, and they were
every 5 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much like every 5 minutes
or less.
They were just getting stronger and stronger, and I just kept crying. And I just knew that she was coming. We were gonna wait an hour, but because he had to go to work, you know, I feel like it was kind of like interfering, because you were already running late too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we only made it 30 minutes. We only made it like 30 minutes. But technically speaking, I was already like feeling them for an hour straight, considering they started like at 5:30 something, you know, when I first felt it. So yeah, right when we knew that it's time, he called in, and I called my mom, and from there we went to the hospital. We got there at 7, right? Yeah. At 7. And the ride there took forever, I feel like, for me, you know? It was just so crazy. Like, could we have not gotten there any sooner? Yeah, we got there, and as soon as we got there, I could not get out the car. No, I got out the car, and I could not walk to the entrance. Okay, the entrance is right there, but I could not walk any further because it was just too painful. It was like the most painful thing ever. Thinking about the pain again is so traumatizing. Anyway, I got a wheelchair brought out, and I fast forward to them checking how dilated I am. At first they had said I was already 7 centimeters dilated, and then I'm like, what is about here, you know? And then they checked again, and come to find out I was only 5 centimeters dilated. After that, how many centimeters was I when I got the epidural? 5 still?
5.
yeah, they said I can get the epidural at any time, and pretty much I wanted it right then and there. Or did I wait a while? I don't remember.
No, you got it. You asked for it.
Right away?
Yeah, but it took them a while just to get up there.
Yeah.
It's because they weren't physically prepared for everything.
It was that crazy, guys. And yeah, so they took a while to get up there. So I'm over here having contractions, in pain, you know, trying to breathe, but the contractions are so strong that I just cannot hold my crying. Like, I was literally crying at every contraction. And it's so crazy because I remember the nurse we had first, she was cool. She was checking on like, where are these people at, basically, you know, where are these people at? And apparently they were like helping someone else or something.
Yeah.
Finally they got to me, and I remember the epidural when I got injured, they just literally did it so quickly. And then this one
Took a while.
They took a while. The main person was hella picky on my position. Too much. A little too extra. Like extra picky. Like, I could not move, and I had to be sitting a certain way, which I understand. I have to sit a certain way and, like, you know, not move. But then again, it's like, god damn, girl, just stick that shit in, you know? And it's like one little tiny move, it's like, nope, we have to restart. It hurt really bad, and I think they put like extra medicine on me because I could not feel my legs at all, or like down below at all, you know? It just felt so numb. How long did it take? It was like a long time just to do it.
Yeah.
It felt like forever. After that, I didn't feel any contractions at all.
But you were having them still.
But I was having them, yeah. During that time, they were like, okay, well, now we're gonna wait, basically, and wait till I dilate even more. And during that time, was it when they kept checking me?
Oh yeah, all the time I kept checking.
Yeah, so every time a doctor came in, they were checking my cervix, right? Yeah, he says they overdid it. My mom says they overdid it too, as far as checking me. Like, it was like, how many people?
More than like 6 or 7.
Really? Oh my god. Well, yeah, because I remember the first girl was like, when she first checked me, she's like, she checked me twice, and then on the second time, she's like, oh, can I get a different one just to make sure that it is 5 centimeters? So that was the second person checking, and it ended up being 5 centimeters. And then, yeah, I remember like a couple people checking. So I don't know if that's what caused the swelling, because apparently I how do you say swole up?
It swelled up.
Swelled up.
They got swollen.
Yeah, down there, like a lot. Obviously, I couldn't see or didn't see, but I was hearing them. Also, as far as checking her head, oh my god, the worst thing ever. So yeah, like, I don't know why so many people had to check on my cervix, and then on top of that, like, a different doctor to confirm. And it's like, that's just so, like, not cool, you know? Like, you should already know. And then after that, they came, and I was 10 centimeters dilated. And then because I was an epidural, obviously I wasn't feeling contractions. And for them, they're like, okay, well, you're having contractions, but you can't feel them. So we're gonna have you start pushing them since you can't feel them. Because as far as pushing them, they want me to push when I have strong contractions. Does that make sense? Yes, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is that I have thought that they have to wait for me to wait till I felt like I had to go to the bathroom, you know, like poop, because that means she's like, okay, coming out, you know. And I wasn't feeling that then, from what I recall, until after pushing. So yeah, they had me push at every contraction, which at first they had to tell me when, because I couldn't feel them. So like, okay, you're getting a contraction, start pushing now. During that time, they had me try a couple positions, like a lot of positions actually. And also during that time, they had checked her head. And this is what's kind of messed up after what your sister had said. They could not feel the head. And I say they because a couple people checked. After already checking my cervix so many times, there's a lot of people checking where the head is at. She is head down during the time, but the thing is, for some reason they couldn't find the head, which caused more swell up. That was kind of like, you know, weird and annoying that a lot of people had to check where her head is at. And then on top of that, they still had me push, not knowing where the head is at. Come to find out, Aaliyah's head was not all like straight down. Like her head was kind of like bent, bent, or she was like tilted or something like that. What I'm saying is messed up is that, and I had so many ultrasounds during this pregnancy, so many ultrasounds due to my last pregnancy being him being premature. So they wanted to stay on top of my cervix. And on top of that, being on top of my cervix, they were able to see whether the baby's position. At every single appointment that they did an ultrasound, they said the baby was head down. My last ultrasound checkup, again, they're like, okay, the baby is head down. Tell me why when we got to the hospital, the baby was not head down. Well, no, she was head down, but her head wasn't straight down. It was tilted. Like, you would think that they'd be able to see that in the ultrasound. Correct me if I'm wrong. So that's kind of what was messed up, because if I were to get told that, I feel like they could have suggested me like things to do to get her head straight down, or okay, there's gonna be a chance that you're gonna be getting a C-section, or that you're gonna be, you know, struggling to push this baby out. But no, I didn't know any of that. Another thing that was messed up for me is that, or for all of us, is that as they were checking the head, you know, they know that the head is bent now. They're still having me push. I was pushing for about 4 hours, and during those 4 hours, they were kind of getting my hopes up to keep pushing, because it's like they could see her head, but like the thing is, her head wasn't like the top of her head. It was like probably like the back or the side or something, you know? So they could see hair, you know, they could see hair. But like after the pushes, they were like, okay, we just gotta keep doing that. But just letting you know, there's no progress. And it was like that during those 4 hours. It's like, yeah, keep going, keep going. We could see her head, or oh, we see her hair. Keep going. After all those pushes, yeah, there's no progress. And you know, and I just thought that was so messed up for them to do, because obviously that makes me want to keep going. And that makes me want to keep pushing, because it's like, okay, she's almost coming out. And then it's like, oh yeah, there's no progress. Another thing was that during that whole time, my mom and Eric were the ones holding my legs for me, and Eric was counting for me, and the doctors were just sitting there. That was so messed up. Like, aren't they the ones supposed to be freaking doing all this? Not my mom holding my leg, not Eric holding my leg, not him counting. And they're just kind of just sitting there watching me like push. And of course, one of them checking inside me to try to help me out. And I don't know, I just thought that was so like messed up. Like, they should not be, like, they're there for support, not to do the work, basically, you know? On top of that, I had then started feeling contractions again. Like, the epidural, girl, was an epidural at that time, because I was feeling every single thing. And it was just so painful that towards the end, I just started screaming. I couldn't push. So anyway, within those after those 4 hours were over, okay, on the 3rd hour, one of the last doctors came in and told me, she's like, okay, look, oh, which they actually mentioned, oh, it sometimes takes 3 to 4 hours to push, you know? So I thought, you know, okay, all this is normal for me to push this long. She came, she's like, okay, it seems like there's no progress going on, so I'm gonna give you options on what you can do. We can give you more medicine as an epidural, for you to, like, you know, not feel these contractions. We can keep pushing for 1 more hour, or we can give you a C-section. And right when she said that, I'm just like, I'm gonna get it. It's gonna happen. The C-section is gonna happen. I was already thinking about why are they telling me to keep pushing and there's no progress? Of course, I decided to push for that 1 extra hour. That hour was the most toughest hour ever, the most longest hour ever. That hour was the one where I tried so hard to push. I pushed so hard that I ended up feeling so exhausted. Felt like I was losing my breath. Oh, and during this whole time, I'm not drinking any water, huh? Because I'm over here just focused on pushing. And if I did drink water, it was just like a little sip, you guys. It's just, I just couldn't no more, you guys. I could not. I'm over here thinking about all these other moms. It's like, yes, you can. Yes, you can. So many moms do this. People are doing this without epidural. Like, I'm trying to push myself to do this, but I'm realizing that I'm literally pushing and she's not gonna come down. She's not gonna come down. They're over here telling me that they see her, and then there's this lady who's like, you know, we can't really do anything to help you because she's just too far up. So they couldn't get like no vacuum to vacuum her up. They couldn't stick their hands or fingers to like try to pull her because she was just too far up. So they couldn't do anything supposedly to help me bring her down. And I asked him, I was like, has it been an hour already? After that, he said, yeah. And I'm like, okay, I'm done because I literally feel like I'm gonna faint. I just cannot do it no more. I'm literally so exhausted, and with like feeling so exhausted and tired, I'm still getting all these contractions, which is even more painful, you know? So it's like, I just could not. And did she come in again? Or did I just ask to do the C-section?
Well, you asked for it, and then they started it's okay, they're bringing you the paperwork so you can sign it.
Yeah, I think I was just like, yeah, I'm done, and I wanna do the C-section. You know, he was so supportive of my decision. I thought you were gonna hate me, babe. I thought you were not. I don't know why. I thought you were not gonna be okay with me getting a C-section. I don't know why that went through my head during that time. You know, what did I say? I was like, "Are you mad at me?"
Yeah.
I forgot why I thought that. No, it's so funny because like, why would I be mad at you? Mostly because I wanted to know his opinion, and I guess, what was your opinion like? You just supported me. You're like,
yeah, I was like, well, she's been pushing for so long, and I might as well just go through it, because you know, why push more if there's no progress? Just a waste of time and energy. So.
And then what was going through your head during those 4 hours? Like, were you thinking the same thing I was thinking? Like, as far as...
I was thinking about how you're getting tired and then you're losing hope. And then I was trying to regain your momentum to keep going, but you were out of it. You didn't want to continue going. So I was like, well, let's do the C-section in my head. And then you decided to do it.
Oh, so you were thinking of me doing the C-section.
And then you decided to do it, so I was like, okay, that's good. And your mom didn't want you to do it.
Mm-hmm. Now moving on to my mom, most of the time she was like, you don't have to push for the full 10 seconds. So they had me push for 10 seconds 3 times and then take a break and then do it all over again. She's like, or push this one push this one hard, but the other 2 don't push so hard. But the thing is, they're telling me to push harder every push, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't think she understood that. And I just wanted to get her out. So I'm over here listening to her, but I'm pushing as hard as I can every push. I told her about the C-section. She was like, no, you don't. Like, keep going, keep trying to push. My mom is very sensitive over this whole C-section thing. She was just worried, you know, and scared for me. She ended up crying and like she really just didn't want me to go through a C-section. During me getting transferred from that room to C-section room, he calmed her down. I just had hope that she understand that the reason I'm doing the C-section was because there's no progress showing during those whole 4 hours, which she ended up understanding after all. Okay, so during this though, apparently there's another C-section going on, so I'm also waiting for these people to be done with that C-section for me to go on next. And I'm over here thinking like, how many rooms could there be for me to wait, you know? And that also felt like the longest time ever, just to wait for them.
Well, before you left, they came and they gave you a high dose of
something to numb my body though, huh?
Well, to help you. Well,
oh wait, no.
They just, to your epidural, basically, they just, you know how you had the IV for your epidural? And she came and then they gave it to you, and then they took another.
Was it more epidural? Yeah, and then they said that I couldn't drink water no more.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, I hadn't even been drinking water to begin with. And if I did again, like I mentioned earlier, I was only taking sips. So I'm over here dehydrated as heck, you guys. And I don't feel it till I go in the room and lay back. I'm just like, holy I'm dehydrated. And I'm so stupid. Like, I should have been drinking water that whole time, you know? Now to the C-section part. Oh my god, you guys. So yes, I did end up having a C-section, unfortunately, but that's how I had to go. Okay, I got there and they pretty much told me they're gonna numb me, and then of course if I still feel something, then they're gonna put me to sleep. Luckily they didn't have to put me to sleep, they just had to numb me. And then from there they like, I don't know if he gets like a cool, puts water on like a towel, or I don't know. I'm already covered, right? And how they check if I can feel anything is like, okay, well, do you feel cold over here? Do you feel cold over here? And I can't feel anything. More above is where I was able to feel it, like all the way above though, like over here. After that, he's gonna tell me like, if you need to talk to me, talk to me. If you feel something, or you know, concerned about anything, questions about anything, just ask me. So I'm over here flat on my back. And something about me is I do not like being flat on my back. I do not like sleeping like that. I do not like laying like that if I don't have to. And my arms are like literally like this. I'm shaking, you guys. I'm literally shaking so much. I feel so cold. I want water at this point. And I'm over here telling him like, oh, is it normal for me to be shaking? And he's like, yeah, it's all normal, you know, like I'm freaking shaking, you guys. Like Eric comes in at this time now, and I know I'm shaking so hard, and he comes and the first thing you see is me shaking, huh?
Yeah.
Was that scary for you?
No, not really. I was just trying to see what's up, you know, like, why are you shaking so much? And then I started putting my hands on your arms to help you calm to.
Yeah, it was so crazy, guys, because it's like, apparently shaking so hard is normal. It's so crazy to me. We got there at the hospital at 7 and went into C-section at 9:07. And I just remember when Eric comes in the room and he puts his hands down on me, and it's like all of a sudden I just calmed down. The feeling was so crazy, where it's like I can kind of breathe now, and like he just starts talking to me, and we're just having a full-on conversation, and I just feel so good, you know. And it was so crazy because every time we stopped talking, I just felt again like, you know, so cold. And so I'm over here trying to make conversation, but then again I'm kind of like so out of it at the same time. They had put oxygen on me.
Oh, they put it on you,
yeah,
just in case if something came up, as
they were like cutting me. I didn't feel anything. All of a sudden Eric hears her come out.
Well, I heard in them something rip, you know, from out of you, and you can see the shadow behind the
like whatever was over
blue cloth tent thing they put. You can see a shadow. I can see in your body they pulled something out of you.
Yeah,
and I knew it was her.
Yeah, he told me, he's like, she's out or something like that, huh?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
And that's why
like, yeah, she came out already.
They take the
and then
thing off and they show us her.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's so crazy because I thought that it was gonna be a whole different feeling, kind of like I wasn't gonna have that feeling of seeing her, like the feeling of giving birth versus C-section. I thought the feeling was gonna be different as far as seeing her for the first time. But that feeling was the same exact feeling I had when I held Adrian. It's just the same exact feeling as like, wow, she's here now, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's the feeling of relief that you get. It's like, she's here, and it was just so amazing. You know, love at first sight all over again. After that, they offered me to breastfeed her right then and there, but because I just felt like so weak and still shaky and just not strong enough to hold her and like put her on my breast, I decided to not breastfeed her right then and there, which I kind of felt bad and still kind of feel bad that I didn't breastfeed her right then and there, because putting me back together took more than an hour to put me back up. That's how long she didn't eat. More than an hour. And you know, it's like she's crying, she's fussy, obviously she wants to eat. He had to deal with all that. He had to deal with all that, you know, trying to calm her down. And when I could have just put her on my breast, you know, for her to like eat a little bit, maybe she would have been calm. Yeah. And putting me back up hurt way more than them cutting me up to take her out. It was so painful, you guys. I didn't like, okay, it's like you feel it but you don't feel it. If you don't, it hurts when they're like
putting you together, ripping you apart.
Yeah. Oh my god, I could just feel them tugging.
I saw your stomach when they showed me her.
That's crazy.
I saw your inside.
When you were walking out, right? Isn't it?
When I got up a little bit to see, is when I saw you.
Oh my god, I wouldn't know. I don't know how you did that.
I saw you insides, and then I sat down again, and then when I left again, I was with her to the other room. When they're closing you up, that's when I saw your stomach tissues and them closing you up.
That's so crazy.
It's like, imagine like plastic, or like plastic pulled apart, like where it's stretched, and it's tissue, you know, it's your tissue. That's how. And then a lot of blood everywhere. After
that, they all picked me up, transferred me to a different bed, and then took me to the
recovery room.
The recovery room. Okay. Oh, and come to find out, the doctor that told me, the last doctor that had came in to tell me about the whole C-section, she came in the C-section room and was like, okay, well, congratulations, you finally had her out. Yeah, to be honest, she was never gonna come out if you kept pushing, so choosing the C-section was honestly the best option to do. But she wasn't there like the day of, because it was already that morning, until she finally came in that night.
So it was the right choice.
It was the right choice, yes. Finally, we went into the next room. We stayed there for 2 days. Yeah. So we were there for 3 days, 2 nights. And yeah, so the rest is history pretty much. But yeah, you guys, that's kind of like how it went. Crazy experience. But you know what? She's here. Yeah. That's what matters. She's finally here. And I'm like the most happiest ever with my baby girl here, having my boy and my girl and my whole family all together. It's just amazing.
She's about to wake up any minute.
Yes, literally. So we're gonna end this video here. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions or any video suggestions. Like always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Deuces.